Hello, creators. How are you guys? It's great to hang out with you again for another Video Creators Podcast episode where every week we are helping you grow your channel, giving you advice, ideas, strategies for how you can reach more people, grow your business, and change their lives with not only the services that you're providing, but the content that you're creating and publishing on your YouTube channel as well. And today we want to talk about what does that mean with Black Friday coming up. I've been doing video creators for 7 years now, and we have found that leveraging Black Friday has been really good for us and our company for a few different reasons, but we'll talk about. And I think it will be for you too. If you have anything on your channel that you sell, that you create, whether it be maybe plans, maybe like woodworking plans, maybe it's like downloadable files for different software that your content revolves around. Maybe you've got like an online course, or maybe it's like more services based, and you do accounting for people, or you do some sort of coaching for people, whatever. If you have a business that your channel kind of surrounds, then today we want to talk about, well, what does Black Friday look like, and how should we use that? I know that through our experiences here, we found a lot of value, and not just value in terms of like, oh yeah, you made some money and you made some sales. There's more to it than that. And we're going to walk through that process of what it looks like. It's a 3-step process. We're going to walk you guys through here today. And we're going to talk about how you can incorporate some of these things into your channel, so that going forward, after listening to this episode, you can put the things in place on your channel that you need to have in place so that you can grow your business, but ultimately use your business to serve more people. And that's what we're all about. And looking forward to diving into that with you guys here today. Before we dive in, I want to thank Ken King of Adventures in Dirt for moderating with us here today. Now, those of you guys who are in the chat, if you have any questions for Delana and I as we go through this, definitely comment. And when you comment, tag him. Okay, so tag him with your questions, because Delana and I are going to be talking through some of this content, and we're trying to keep our focus on delivering content to you guys rather than interrupting and answering questions all kind of throughout the stream. And so as you guys have questions, make sure you tag him, and he will put them in front of us. We have a shared Google Doc here, and he will just copy and paste your questions. And then here in a little bit, Delana and I will just crank through as many of your questions as we can, just answering, because like what we really want to do is help you guys out, not just be like, hey, we have a live stream and a podcast. And often the podcast people are like, hey, we love the questions, because like you guys are asking the questions that they're thinking, like you're filling in the gaps of what we're kind of leaving out, and making the content better for people who listen to your questions later. So thank you guys for doing that, and make sure you tag him. If you haven't checked out Ken's channel, there's a link to it down in the description below this live stream. And it's a fun channel, all sorts of cool stuff, metal detecting things, that like treasures that they're pulling up, from like gold to like literally gold. So like all this crazy stuff. So and he does a good job at bringing the whole community together on his channel. So check it out, link down below. I do have an announcement before we dive in here today, guys, and it's kind of a sad one. As you notice, Lennon's not here. No, it has nothing to do with Lennon.
Oh my God.
I was just gonna see where people went with that. No, today is our last final live stream of the year here on Video Creators. I know, like, the years isn't. You're like, hey Tim, don't we still got like what do we have? A month and a half? Is that what we got? What are we
Yeah,
in?
about
Middle of this?
month and a
Yeah, month
half.
and a half left.
Next week is Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah, and so I haven't actually done this before. It freaked me out for a moment, Susan says. I haven't done this before. We usually just I kind of keep going, maybe take a week or two off. But if you guys have been listening to the past episodes, you know that I just got a lot going on. I'm going to be taking a 3-week break. I'm going to completely disconnect and let the team kind of hold down the fort and continue to serve you guys. And then I'm going to come back from break, and then I assume they're going off on break, although I don't know if we have that officially planned out yet. We should probably do that. But
On the to-do
Christmas
list.
and New Year's and things will be happening. And so now we will still be having podcast episodes for you guys. So even though we won't be live here tomorrow, Delana and I and Lennon, we're going to sit down. We're going to crank out a whole bunch of podcast episodes for you. So they won't be streamed here live. But definitely go subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, like wherever you listen to your podcast episodes. We will have content scheduled out. And that's where we're going to be talking about things like how you should plan your YouTube strategy going forward in 2021 based on all the changes that have happened in YouTube this past year. And we'll be looking at what are the biggest lessons we learned about YouTube growth over the past year here on YouTube that will really impact your strategy. So a lot of really good content coming up, and I would like encourage you guys to go over to iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, wherever it is, and we'll have regular content scheduled for you guys there. So make sure you download that. So cool. Was that all my announcements? Let me check. Yes, that was it. All right. Delano. Oh, let me do that again. Okay. I always want to set you up because not everyone, it's always potentially someone's first time. So if this is your first time here at Video Creators to our podcast, I want to introduce you to Delana. She's one of the YouTube strategists on our team who's working with our clients one-on-one, generating reports for them. Why don't you summarize people who might be newer here? Summarize what you do here, Delana.
I mainly work with what is our most intimate form of channel strategy for creators. So it's our most one-on-one version of what we do, which does include, yes, creating reports for them, pulling their analytics, diving into exactly what's going on their channel, and creating customized strategies for them. So that's primarily what I do, with some other things like video labs and miscellaneous tasks.
Yeah. And normally Lennon is here as well. His focus is on managing our online community. He also runs video labs. He does consultations, one-on-one consultations with clients as well. And so, but he's taken today off and he's not feeling very well. And so we're just going to let him have the day. And so it's Delana and I. And Delana, as you're looking forward to Black Friday, what are you looking to get out of Black Friday? Is there anything you're keeping your eye open for like a really good deal on something?
I think, okay. I don't know how many of these things I'm going to get at once, but what I'm going to be looking for is there's a gut health course that I saw that I really wanted to take, but it was quite pricey. And so I'm just going to kind of wait and see if maybe they do a Black Friday sale. I've also been interested in some Instagram growth courses, just like personally. It doesn't really play into what we do here. I mean, it's always helpful to have that knowledge, but yeah, I've also, there's some courses that I found that and I've actually been like looking at free trainings from Instagram growth experts in particular. And I'll take like some of their free trainings because I like to see like who do I feel I connect with the most, or who do I feel has the most valuable information, and then go from there. And I found one, and so maybe she'll do a Black Friday sale. Other than that, I'm probably going to be looking at like beauty products.
Well, it sounds like you're really into like education and teaching and learning and stuff right now. So, which is good. I don't know that well, I'll be honest, I'm not. So taking 3 weeks to like intentionally not read any business books or literature or a podcast, and only kind of consume like stuff for personal growth and things like that. But in terms of like Black Friday, there's two things that I'm looking for a deal for. Number one is a chainsaw. So very, very much not nearly as I don't know, what's the right word? Not studious, but sophisticated or something. I don't know is what you're going for. But we have a small pond, probably more like a big puddle on our property, and a big tree just fell across it like 2 weeks ago. And I have like a little electric chainsaw, but that battery gives out after, 2, 3, 4 cuts. And so I need to get like a legit gas powered chainsaw, not just for that tree, but just for all the things that are on our property that keep popping up. So I'm gonna be looking for that. And then the second thing, going back to like the self-care re-energize, rejuvenation thing is I'm looking for a Black Friday deal on Xbox Live Game Pass, so I can play the new Halo when
Nice.
that comes out. And also, like, video games were always such like a good stress release for me when I was in my teen, well, mostly early 20s, I guess. And I haven't done it in a long time, but I think I'm looking forward to let's just blowing some stuff up, just getting that out of my system. So, and I did find that there's a couple places online that will be having a deal on those. So I'll be looking for the Xbox Live Game Pass subscription discounts here for Black Friday myself as well.
Yeah, my husband and I are huge gamers. Well, I shouldn't say huge gamers. We love video games. I don't actually play a ton, but I love them because but the thing is, most of the video games that I've been playing they've been like problem solving, and if I have a really intense day of reports and problem solving, I don't want to do more problem
Yeah, I was gonna
solving.
say you love problem solving. That's like why you do so well with our clients and things, is you like problem solving. But to do it for fun, then after a long day of that, I could see and be like, nope, I'm out.
Yeah, I
Making
just
stuff
need
up, all
like
good.
an easygoing game after that. Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Before we jump into our content, I have a surprise for you, Delana, and everyone here in the chat.
Oh snap. I have no idea what's going on, guys. What is this? Oh, he's leaving. He's just going to let me take over. Oh
I got
my
it.
gosh. What?
Yes, I finally got one. I joined the club.
Oh my
For those of you
gosh.
listening, maybe the audio.
Wait,
I
you gotta back up and let us see
finally
the whole
got the
thing.
denim jacket to fit in with Lennon and Delana, and everyone else who is in the chat here in the live stream. Yeah, Adventures in Dirt, LOL, Eileen Smith, denim, ta-da! Dear Julie, like LOL. Everyone, Bill Six. Wow, it actually happened. Jasmine Apple looks fantastic. Everyone's like screen grab.
Okay.
And yeah, Mr. MC, your community. Lennon's not here to see it. Yeah.
I know.
So
Oh man. Okay, wait. Did Dana have a part in this?
100%. She brought it back home for me. He's like, I got something for you.
Oh,
But
that's
I
so
saw on Slack, on
awesome.
our team Slack, that she was asking you guys for tips on denim and stuff like that. So she just kind of took it into herself. Yeah, November 16th, 2020. You were here.
A monumentous day.
There's some people here, green shorts. Hey, Tom, he's asking some context, please. Because, like, what the heck is going on?
It's like, why is everybody so excited about a jean jacket?
You want to explain it?
Lennon and I have both had jean jackets for ever since we started working with video creators, and we both wore them to events that we went to. And so then we started making a joke that Tim needed to get a jean jacket too. And so then we started wearing them on live streams, coincidentally, and then we got all of you guys in on the fact that Tim needs to get a jean jacket. And so after months and months, what is it? Almost 2 years now, Tim finally has a jean jacket.
So did my wife pick out a good one?
Oh yeah. Looks great. Okay, good. Looks so good.
I like this. It's not just super stiff. It's kind of stretchy. So it feels better than I was expecting it to. I was expecting it to feel like the jeans I put on, where it like automatically straightens your leg whenever you bend them, because they're so tight and not flexible.
What kind of jeans are you wearing?
Well, I don't wear them very much. This is why I didn't really want a jean jacket, but this one's all right.
That's good.
Tom says the buttons need to be in red though. So little maybe little paint. I don't know. They might ruin it at that point.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So For our creator spotlight for this week, I want to introduce you guys to someone named Craig from Market Power. And what I want you guys to get from this conversation from him and Lennon was doing a consultation with him, and they're talking about growing their channel. I think this is the second session that he's done with Lennon. And I know a lot of us, myself included, we have YouTube channels that don't have like the potential to reach the largest audience, right? Like not all of us are doing really broad appeal type of gaming or just vlogging, or we're not making music videos that have tremendous replay value. Some of us, and I get this too, like, hey Tim, if you're like a YouTube expert, why don't you have 5 million subscribers? And I'm like, well, how many active YouTube creators do you think there are in the world who speak English and are interested in content like this? And my best guess is that there's maybe 1 million. But then you limit that to the audience that we're going after, which is the more established creator who's has more of a business mindset around their channel. And I don't know what that number is, but I'm guessing we're getting really small, maybe 100,000 total in our market in the world who had that type of mentality and mindset around their content. So that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. Some of you guys, like Dylan, I don't think I've told you this before, but I remember I think I was at VidCon several years ago, and I met someone. They're like, "Oh, Tim, I love your content." I'm like, "Oh yeah, tell me about your channel." And they're like, "Well, I have a channel that reviews antique socks." I was like, "Antique socks? That's a thing." And they're like, "Yeah."
Wow.
And so she told me about it. It's like growing, it's doing well. Apparently, there's a niche out there for antique socks. I left thinking like you literally have a channel about old socks. but but the point is like there's like an audience and a community for everything. And so
Yes.
here, Craig, I think the thing to take away from what Craig's about to share is this applies to channels of any level. And he expended some tremendous growth for his small niche, for what he was doing. He'll share about that with economics here in a second. But it's not a huge audience. And he's still getting some significant traction given the size of his potential audience. And his advice applies not only to what he's been doing that's been getting momentum for him, for maybe you if you have a smaller channel, but also for those of you guys who are more established and maybe even have millions and millions and millions of subscribers. So let's listen to Lennon's conversation with Craig, and then we'll be back right after that.
Yeah, so I am a professor of economics. I have a PhD in economics and just really want to reach out to people and get people excited about economics. So Market Power is a place where we just believe in the power of markets and economics to shape our world, because it really just influences so much of what we see around us. And so I'm trying to create this community of people just interested in and excited about economics.
That's awesome. And so we actually did a consultation. So we just ended one today, but we did one probably a year ago, right? Tell us
Yeah, I
about,
think it was July last year.
yeah, tell us about what's happened sort of since then.
So last year we talked and things were good. You know, I had just over 1,000 subscribers. I was monetized. Things were on a good path. But the strategy that I really had was trying to ride whatever was going to be trending like that week. During the consultation last year, we really talked about story, which was really difficult to apply to an economics channel, right? I'm trying to teach people about economic principles and then trying to find like the story in there. The other thing we really talked about was coming in and making sure you have a target viewer. And it's really in the past few months where I've really focused on that and said like, who is my target viewer, and getting that definition and finding out like, okay, my target viewer right now is someone who's 16 to 22 years old, has just taken their AP economics class or an economics class in college, and they are really excited about economics. They're thinking about majoring in it, and they want to go on and find out, you know, is this a good career path? And that was something that was really relatable to me because I had taken AP economics in high school. I wanted to major in economics after I took that class, but then had a like crisis of faith kind of thing where I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do well in life if that's my major. And so when I got to college, I switch to a different major. And it was only after a year of that major where I was like, no, I really like economics. I want to go back and major in economics. And so I could it was really easy for me to identify who that was. I wanted to talk to 18-year-old Craig and help him on his path to learning about economics. And so once I got that, I started making those kind of videos. Like, what is it like to major in economics? What books can you do to study economics? What kind of jobs are available? And just in the last 3 months, the channel has grown really well. Just in the last 28 days, 1,800 new subscribers. I should pass 5,000 subscribers today, which is exciting for me to see this kind of growth. It was stagnant for a while, but once I really nailed that target viewer of just myself many years ago, that's when it really helped me understand what kind of content I needed to create and what kind of community I needed to reach.
What I want people to avoid a little bit here is not getting so much caught up in the fact that you said, okay, I'm going to make these informational type videos that serve this person. Like, it's not just about that, right? You just knew that for you, that's what you needed to do. It's not just like, let's go make these how-to videos. That wasn't the point. It was that you looked at the person first and said, this is what this person needs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so that now was, go ahead.
Oh, that was really one of the first things that that first video that I made once I figured out who I was addressing. It's called the 6 Biggest Lies About Majoring in Economics. That was those were the things that I was told about majoring in economics when I was back starting college. And then so I addressed each one of those things and said, hey, young Craig, these are the lies you're going to hear, and this is why you shouldn't be worried about those things. And so it was taking that information I wanted and figuring out what I wanted to know about that kind of stuff when I was in that position.
Yeah, I love that. And it's not that's not a searchable term. It's not like you just went for what you knew you would have wanted to see. And then you've taken this idea though, and you've experimented and you've built a second channel since we talked. Tell us about that, because this is really cool.
Yeah, so I've got the strange thing about me is I speak Haitian Creole. So Haiti is this, it's an island in the Caribbean. It's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. There's I think population is 11 million, maybe 12 million if you include everyone outside of Haiti. I lived in Florida for 2 years as a missionary for my church and learned how to speak Haitian Creole. And so while I was, I've kept that up. That's what a lot of my research as an economist is with Haiti. And one day I just saw a video where someone was speaking Creole with their family, and it had so many views, and none of my videos on Market Power were anywhere close to that. And I was like, I'm just going to throw up a similar video and see what happens. And it started getting a little bit of momentum. By a little bit of momentum, January 1st of this year, I had, I think, 14 subscribers, and that video had 100 views, but I hadn't shared it with anyone. I hadn't done anything. I was just letting YouTube do its thing. And so I was like, some people are getting this. Let me just throw another video on there. And each video I would throw would just gain more and more momentum until it just blew up in February. And as of today, it's just under 39,000 subscribers without sharing. It's all through browse and suggested. But that was when I had this revelation that was the target viewer was so important. It was that, YouTube had a really easy time identifying the target viewer because you're speaking a language shared with other videos, right? Only a few people are going to watch videos in these languages. And so if people are watching that video, it's easy to share it with across those other things. It's very easy for YouTube to find that target audience. And that's what I realized I was missing on Market Power, was having that easily identifiable viewer. And so that's when I'm really committed to thinking about who my viewer was and how I could get them to find this channel about economics.
I love it.
Yeah. And I guess I just want to point out that the mood on my channel has significantly changed. When I was targeting search last year during our first consultation, the kind of comments I got, they're the don't read the comment section kind of comments. Yeah. And now that I've focused on the viewer and their journey and what they're trying to get through, it's amazing how the comments today are, thank you so much. I've been looking for a channel like this. You answered the questions I've been having, and it's been amazing to have that. So really focus on who that target viewer is.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. And I'm looking forward to chatting again.
Yeah, we'll talk again.
Whether you are just trying to grow a YouTube channel or grow a business, the goal to be like that a lot of people have is like, I just need to be in front of as many people as possible. And that's not always the right goal. Sometimes the better goal is to be in front of the right people. Is it better to be in front of a football stadium of the wrong people who will never subscribe, never really be interested in your content, never really buy from you, never really support what you're trying to be and what you're trying to do? Or is it better to be in front of 10 of the right people who are like, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And oh my gosh, this is going to change my life. And there's maybe times when each of those goals would be appropriate. But overall, the way you grow a YouTube channel and YouTube's approach is to put the right video in front of the right person at the right time. So YouTube system is very much a viewer-centric system. And once YouTube system starts figuring out who it is that's going to respond well to your content, they are far more likely to actually start putting your content in front of those types of people. So figuring out that target audience is very important. And Craig's type of the results that he saw on his channel are very normal for people who, like, once they hone in on who that target audience is and they start making content that's providing a very specific value to that audience, it's not unusual for them to really just start getting a lot of traction on their YouTube channel. And so if that's something you really want help figuring out and diving into, our course 30 Days to Better YouTube channel has a whole section in there that's designed just to help you figure out who your target audience is. It's going to give you worksheets, it's going to give you assignments. I've got a video trainings in there to really help you as part of that process. In fact, this at the very beginning of the process. If you want to create a highly subscribable channel and reach this target audience who will be the exact right people to have already in your community when your Black Friday sale comes around, then I highly recommend go to videocreators.com/30 days and register for the course today. Get started, start working through that material to really figure out who is it that you are trying to reach. Because I know a lot of creators, when we work with them, they're like, oh, I'm trying to reach this type of person. And to them, that means like a certain age range, certain demographic in terms of location. And it's usually like anywhere in between the ages of like 18 and 54 years old, who lives in the United States. Could be a boy, could be a girl. Like, and I'm like, no. What's this person's story? What do they want? Why can't they have what they want? What are the obstacles that they're trying to face? And even entertainment types of channels, that still does a job for these viewers. They're consuming entertainment content because it's doing something for them. It's providing a value to them, even if that value is just to escape from reality for a little bit. It's always providing value of some kind. And so I highly recommend, again, you check out that course, videocreators.com/30 days to dive into our course, 30 Days to Better YouTube channel, really start figuring that out and working through the process that we outline there with our worksheets and our assignments and everything to really help you figure that out. So as you start creating content that is targeting that audience and solving a problem for them and really providing the value that that person wants, your channel will grow. And YouTube search and discovery systems will start just putting you in front of the right viewer at the right time. So link to it is down in the show notes of this episode as well, or just go to videocreators.com/30 days. Let's see. I'm looking at the chat here. Did any of you guys go through that course? Some of you guys did. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw one guy said he really liked it. I lost it though.
Green Shorts DIY says, I started out with
Yep.
a 30 days course, excellent strategies, but also accessible. So good. I thought that was helpful for you, Tom. Let's see here. Black Friday is coming up sooner than later. I guess by the time you guys are listening to this, it might only be a week, might only be a few days away. And when I think about Black Friday for our business, I think there's two main goals to it for me. And that is, one, it does, just be totally honest, it does help generate a burst of sales. And it gets like a lot of people who never otherwise would have bought. They're like in Black Friday, they're just, even if it's not even on sale, they're just in this buying mentality. And they're like, what can I get today? And they're looking for good deals. But even if it's not a good deal, like, I think a lot of us hopefully by now know that things that are quote unquote on sale actually aren't. It's just that they inflated the retail price to make it look like it's now on sale. But the actual price on Black Friday is the same price you could have gotten it for like 3 months ago too, or even 3 months from now. So it's not like even a lot of good deals out there. So one, it's you can tap into that for your business. The people are just kind of looking, they're mentally have Christmas coming up and they're like, I'm looking to buy things. So it does generate a burst of sales, especially when you do give a good discount for it. But number two, and I think this is the part that a lot of small business owners overlook, which is it also helps grow your email list. It helps grow your customer base. And the more people who are buying, the more customers we have to potentially tap into in the future. And so, like for our business model, we have different levels of different types of, basically it comes down to how hands-on are we going to be with you and in your channel. So it starts off with 30 days to better YouTube channel. Well, actually, it starts off for free with like one of our lead magnets, but in terms of paying for something, 30 days to a better YouTube channel is a work at your own pace, go through it on your own time. Pretty hands off from us. We'll be somewhat hands on if you want to, if you join our community, our paid online community after that. But for the most part, you're working through it with a group of other people and on your own. But then there's video labs after that. And so if I do a sale for 30 days to better YouTube channel, people get into that and have a really good positive experience. And they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much I got. It was only like this price and I got it for half of that. Like, I can't believe this feels like such an amazing deal. And it really helps build a lot of credibility. It earns trust with those people. And then when the next offer comes later for video labs or the action plan or a consultation or something like that, people are like, heck yeah, I am in. and like, I can't believe the value I got for that price. This is going to be so much better. And so even though we kind of are, maybe depending how you look at it, losing money in the first sale now that we're offering for 30 days to better YouTube channel on Black Friday, we still make up for it later, in terms of like now we have more people that have had a really good positive experience with it and feel that they're really excited to keep going because now they understand what it's going to take to get their channel going and what it's going to take to grow, and so they're more likely to jump in. So don't think about it just in terms of like, ooh, I'm going to make some money or oh, I'm going to generate some sales. That will happen, but in my experience, the real benefit of it comes further down the line. Now, if you don't have multiple products and you don't have like more of a sales funnel like that of getting people from one product to the next, it's still fine. It's still like, you sell it for cheaper. Like don't like don't lose money on it. But still sell for cheaper in order to grow that email list and to grow your community of people who are having experiences with your product and your brand and getting really excited about it. And I found that that's been good overall. Now, I did make one mistake, and it was a few years ago, which is I sold a discount on one-on-one consultations. And to give you guys an idea, just kind of where we're at right now, Lennon and I and Elena, we are all booked through to the end of the year. So if you go and look at our calendars right now on our website to book a session with us, you will not find, I know on my schedule, no availability. And I'm pretty sure Lennon, he might have a session or two available in there.
Yeah, towards the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, we are both booked solid until January. Okay. So if I did a sale on that right now and people would come in like, man, I can't take advantage of the sale because and we still get these emails now like, hey, Tim, I think the calendar is broken on your website. There's nothing available. And we're like, no, it's not broken. It's just really that booked out.
Yeah.
So, but the one time I did run a sale in the consultations, I was not solidly booked. And I quickly learned that at that time, people would only book maybe 2 or 3 weeks in advance. Now people are booking like a month, 2 months in advance with us. And we even have a waiting list right now for people who are waiting to do our more hands-on, white glove, personal one-on-one strategy with Elena. And so, and I've had to turn down other people who are like, no, we want to do that with you, Tim. And I'm like, I can't right now. I just don't have capacity. And so when I sold it, I sold it myself solid for like 2 to 3 weeks. And then I realized I kind of put an artificial cap on those sessions because people are like a month from now, 2 months from now, at that time, they weren't sure if they could do it. So, I'm not I want to sell now something that's scalable, like 30 Days to Better YouTube channel personally. So let's see here. The other thing that happens is that you better stay in front of your people when they are ready to take the next step. So maybe not everyone takes the next step right after the first purchase, but you now have an opportunity maybe to upsell someone after that first initial purchase, or maybe they're like, no, I don't want any of that. I just want the one thing that's on sale. And that's great. That's fine. That's, you know, and then, but you have them on your email list or your customer list that you can serve again later. So I think those are like the two main benefits, two main goals. Let me walk you through a quick 3-step process of how we do it and how I would recommend maybe if you haven't done it before, at least start here in terms of how do we take advantage of Black Friday on our own YouTube channel specifically. And so step number 1, I would say, is the first thing you need to do is get the sale set up, obviously, and then announce it. So, and by announcing it, I'm saying like YouTube, your email, Instagram, community tab. We'll be running some unique special Facebook ads during that time as well. And we're just promoting it everywhere that we can. Now it's a little bit difficult right now because everyone's promoting, like competing for attention for these types of sales, but also more people are more in tune and looking for these types of sales. So it's a good time to do it. And whether you want to just discount it, or maybe you can't discount yours because like the profit margin is already so low, you can't afford to like discount it anymore and still have it be profitable. Another thing that I've done with something like that is instead I would just throw in a bonus instead of the sale or along with the sale. So maybe, for example, if you have something that's like accounting services, you're like, hey, I can't throw in a Black Friday discount for new clients on Black Friday. It just doesn't make sense. But maybe you say, you know, we're going to do a Black Friday sale. It's going to be our same price as we normally do, but everyone who signs up gets this, or who you know, gets this extra online course for free that we did, because that's more scalable. Or they're going to send you a free book or a free guide or something like that, right? Like, and so when we sell 30 Days to Better YouTube channel, we do this promo, not only do we discount it, but we also throw in a course from Delana about like how to get started as a YouTube creator, all the gear you need to set up, the processes you need to follow in order to consistently publish content that's going to perform well. And also we throw in for free an online course from Lennon about how monetization strategies for your channel. Like what are some of the things you can do to start making money on your channel? And we walk through all those options and things like that with his online course. So I feel like we throw like a heck of a party. We're giving like this stuff away for you guys. It's like a discounted course. I guess it sounds like I'm kind of promoting it now. So depending on when you're listening to this, if you haven't bought it yet, you want all the extra bonus stuff, like go check it out Black Friday. But at videocreators.com/30 days. But that's, yeah. So I think it's really important that you not only set it up and then you actually got to promote it a lot. And yeah. Now, if you're at a place right now, you're listening to this, you're like, hey, Tim, this sounds great. This isn't for me though. I don't have a product I'm sharing. Then I have a free guide for you. It's called Product to Profit. A link to that down is in the show notes, and it's you can check it out down there. And it's a free guide that I put together all about our exact process for how do you go from figuring out what your audience wants to buy from you, how do you go about creating that thing, and then how do you go about selling it. A lot of people think that just because they have an audience that people must want to buy anything that they tell them about, and that's not true. There's a lot of very big channels who can't move merch or sales for nothing because their audience, whether it's not the right fit or they attracted the wrong audience or whatever. So follow that guide. It doesn't sell you anything at the end of it. I promise. It's right now, the only thing I'm asking you for at the end of that guide is that you fill out a brief survey to give me some information about where you're at with your channel in terms of products and services, so that going into 2021, our team can create content for you that would be the most valuable for you, to helping you actually start that journey and start turning your channel into a more profitable business. So check out that guide, Product to Profit, and I'll help you get started with that process right away. I have 2 different podcast episodes I want to recommend that you guys listen to before we dive into what I want to talk about here, which is an actual sales process, sales strategy that we use for our sales videos. Because when I say, hey, announce this on your YouTube channel, you're like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean I just be like, hey guys, so I like, if you don't want it, don't worry about it. But like, I'm not trying to be sleazy or anything, but I just got this thing that you could buy. Like, but don't hate me if you don't want to buy it. It's okay. But in fact, you probably don't want it. So yeah, never mind. See you later. Bye. All right. Don't do that.
It's
So I want to
okay.
get it.
It's okay if you feel that way inside.
Yeah, but
but
don't do that.
but don't do it.
No. So I want to give you a quick outline of the sales script I often use in the format that's been working pretty well for us, as well as other clients and things as well. But you're going to want to go into this way more depth than I'm going to go into here. So I highly recommend you check out an podcast episode. It's episode number 229. It's titled "The 5 Sales Tactics I Use to Earn Over $1 million on YouTube," and that's going to go in way more depth of this script and this outline. Okay. But here, and this applies whether you're talking about a sales video, maybe an email sequence, or just a sales video in your channel. Step number 1, the first thing you want to do in this piece of content is discuss the problem. What's the problem that this customer has? How does this problem make them feel? What do they really want? And why do they think they can't have it? Like, can you just summarize your customer's story really quickly in the opening 15, 20 seconds of this piece of content? And then number 2, you want to quickly then tell your story. Okay. So don't open up being like, hey guys, I got a sale going on. You can buy it here. Here's what it is. Here's what it does. You're not going to you're not going to create many sales. What people really want to know is this for me? Is this going to solve a problem I have? Is this going to help me go from A to B? Like, I'm here, I feel stuck at A. I want to get to B. How does it help me do that? And then, so you discuss the problem. First of all, they're like, oh, okay. I feel like this person's talking to me. And then like, well, who are you? Like, well, tell a little bit about your story. Like, this is who I am. I'm Tim. I'm video creators. And and I remember being exactly in that space where I just felt frustrated and I felt like I didn't know how to move forward. And no matter how hard I tried, nothing was working. And so like, tell us a quick story that indicates you can identify with where this person's at. And it also helps establish trust because the person's like, oh, they get me. They understand me. Like, yes, that story that person is describing feels like my story. And then you tell a little bit like, well, here's how I got it, and share some helpful information. Step 1, step 2, this is what really helped me go to the next level. And then the third thing you want to do in this script is number 3, is cast a better vision. So like, here's what happened to me in my life, but what would your customer's life look like? What kind of transformation would they experience if they got what you have, or if they bought this product or this service or whatever? And so, and what does it really take to get there? Is this going to be like, okay, you're going to sell me something that's going to be like, in 3 easy steps, you too can get $1 million, right? Or is this gonna, guys, it's gonna take hard work. It's gonna take a lot of practice. It's gonna take a lot of planning. But I have found when you do the right practice the right things, plan the right way, the right time, like, you can actually really accelerate your results. And so that case, you're actually selling shorter amount of time, like less effort, basically, to get like, this is what we want any guide to do for us. This is why you're listening to this podcast episode in the first place. So you cast that better vision of what what transformation in their life would look like. And then the next thing, number 4, is you introduce the product. Okay, well, here's the product. Here's how it's going to solve your problem. And how can you justify the claims you're making about the product? So if you look at our sales page for 30 Days to Better YouTube channel, you'll see that we've got tons of testimonials on there. And I haven't even put like a quarter of them on there, but we put those on there. So you screenshots of like, guys, people are literally emailing us every week. I don't even know what the frequency is because Stephanie manages all that stuff, but I know like at least once a week she's popping screenshots of emails in our private Slack, being like, look at this person, here's what they did, here's what it did for them. And so, but we have those testimonials on there, and we justify the claims with other things as well, in terms of like, we've helped our clients personally generate over 17 billion views and 71 million subscribers on YouTube following this process, right? And so it's like, justify, and those are real stats, by the way. I didn't make those up. So can you justify the claims that you're making? Step number 5 is then to give next steps. And this is where a lot of people go wrong. They kind of tell them about the product and then hope they buy. But people need to know exactly what the next step you want them to take is. You need to create that framework for them to follow, to make exactly how to move forward with it. So at the end, just say like, so first you're going to click that link in the description below, and then you're going to enter in your name and your email address. On the next screen, you'll enter in your payment information, and then you'll be right into the first page of the course where you can start diving into how to figure out who your target audience is or something, right? So you maybe don't even need to go like first and then, but on the exact process to follow. And so that they can see then like, okay, this isn't too hard, it's not too complicated. And it kind of removes just a little bit of doubt, a little bit of confusion, makes it easier for them to move forward. So make sure you give them the exact next steps.
Well, and I think it just makes it feel more tangible to them,
Yeah.
like the whole idea of it just sounds like, oh yeah, I could do that. And then they want to take the next step.
Right. And it's like, well, am I going to get like, is this going to take a long time? Like literally
Yeah.
earlier today, I started downloading the update for Mac OS, and I was looking at the clock being like, I don't know how long this is going to take. Got a live stream here coming up. I'm not going to start this update right now, but it might have only take 2 minutes. I don't really know. So just setting expectations is really important. Anything else in there? All that makes sense. I know I went through that real quick, Delana, but anything in there pop out to you that I need to maybe explain or clarify or go into more depth?
I don't think so. I would like to emphasize the importance of telling a succinct version of your story and how powerful that can be, because the viewer does need to feel that they can not only can they connect with you, they want to feel that, but they also want to know that you actually fully understand their problem, as well as, because of your story, because of your experience, and because of why you care about this issue, that you are the person that can help them do that. And all of that can be so powerfully communicated in telling your story.
Yep. Lily Tree in the chat here in the live stream says, great quote from my previous life. Don't sell the sausage, sell the sizzle. And it's kind of like, I think Donald Miller, I think, says like, don't sell the drill, sell the hole. Oh no, that's Seth Godin actually. Yeah. Don't sell the drill, sell the hole. And that's because what people really want is not a drill. What they really want is the hole, and they don't really want the hole. They want what the hole is going to allow them to create, and they don't really want the things going to create. They want the satisfaction and the feeling that it's going to make them feel proud of themselves, right? It's always be results and benefit, like reward focused, and not just on
features.
Here's how it functions. Yeah, here's what it does, and
that
type of thing. Because then the viewer or the potential customer has to then figure out in their own mind, okay, does this actually help me get what I want or not?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because it's cool doesn't mean it's going to sell.
But that is where it comes down to your target audience, because if you're targeting the person who already knows why having this really powerful battery for this really fancy drill matters, then you could emphasize the features a little bit more and talk about, because you're targeting that person who already knows why that matters. But if you're targeting somebody who, like Tim said, they just want to hang a picture, they're not going to know any of those features are going to go over their heads. So
right. Yeah. The second step of this 3-step process is after you're running the sale, you've announced it. I normally in the past have only ran it for 24 hours. And part of that is because I want to create a sense of urgency. Like you only have limited time to get it. You got to take action now or you miss it. But I have a sales guy now, and his advice is like, no, let's run it for 3 days. Becoming more and more common. Let's do the Black Friday sale for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's do it for the weekend. And so we're going to try that for the first time this year. And so, run the sale for a few days if you like. And then finally, the third step in the process is afterwards, like after people have bought and you shut the sale down, you hopefully have a lot of new customers who are maybe new to you and your brand and to your channel, to your content, your value proposition, what you're all about. If ideally you have some sort of email automation set up that will automatically email these people, with like, hey, so good to have you. Like, we're excited. Like, here's who we are. And you get them into an email sequence then that is introducing them to your brand and who you are, what you're all about, and what else they can expect from you, and in terms of emails and contact and things later. Send them follow-up emails about the content, that if it's like an online course, for example, about like just kind of reminding them to get back into it. But I don't just take their money and run, I guess is my point. And don't just like disappear. It's a really good opportunity to serve someone even better, who, the way I think about it is like, if they've given you money, they are serving your family. Like, they're literally helping take care of you. and the other people maybe who work for you on your team. And so I don't personally take that lightly. I'm like, if you are supporting me and my family, like, I want to do my best to support you and your family. And I really want this content to do that, or whatever the services that you just bought. So that's why one of our core values here at Video Creators is results driven. It's not like we're just selling information to try to make money, but like, to us, it's really important that this stuff actually works and that it actually generates results. That's why we track how many views that we can take credit for from our clients, is because like, we want to know, is this actually moving the needle on something for them? Or is it like, this person that probably would have done just fine in the room without us, but we're going to take credit for us because we need our business to do well or something, right? So follow up with them, send a welcome email. It doesn't have to be personal to each one, unless you're selling maybe like $10,000 product or something, then you probably want to be personal with each one. But have an automation, or just send a welcome email to those new customers. If you don't have an automation set up, that really helps onboard them to what you're all about, what else they can expect from you, and sets the expectation that we're going to keep delivering value to you through these emails, or through our YouTube channel or Instagram, or whatever the case might be. So, any thoughts or comments there, Delina? Nope.
Sorry, I was muted.
That's good.
Nope, I'm good. Yeah.
Let's dive into some of your questions here. We're going to start with those of you here in the live stream who are members of the channel. And dear Julie, Junk Journal Every Day asks, do you tell your story in every video? I don't.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not necessary. Telling your story is very, very, very powerful, but if you try to force it into every piece of content, it's just going to feel really unnatural, and it will not only feel forced, but it will probably come across as forced to your audience. However, that's not to say that you shouldn't be looking for creative opportunities on how you can plug certain parts of your story into how it relates to the topic at hand. Because telling stories is very, very powerful. It allows for connection, personal connection with your audience, and them feeling like they want to identify with you and whatever you offer on your channel versus someone else. Your story is like the secret power that every creator has that they don't utilize enough. However, no, it does not need to be in every video, especially if it's going to feel unnatural.
I think you could have a really short version of it, like the way Dave Ramsey does it, where he's like something along the lines of like, I know what it's like to be broke. In fact, I went from being a millionaire to bankrupt twice before I figured out how money works.
Yeah.
It's just real quick. It doesn't have not a lot of detail. Then he has a longer version as well. But yeah, it doesn't have to be everyone. But you just need to make it like, people just can't dig too far to get it. It just needs to be pretty. It's one of the first things that they'll figure out with you and your brand.
Yeah, or you can even cherry pick certain parts of it to highlight certain parts of your story that go along with the topic at hand.
Yeah. Green Shorts DIY says, I continued on my path with Video Labs, much more intensive, but it gave me best practices to grow. And 5 years later, I still meet weekly with 3 other members from my group. That's awesome. That's awesome, Tom. Yeah. Video Labs is what comes after 30 days of a YouTube channel. So 30 days will help get your channel set up to be highly subscribable. And then Video Labs is then like, okay, now that we can reduce the bounce rate on your channel, people actually connect to it when they find it, Now let's talk about get more into how the algorithm works. Let's get more into how do we craft content that will hook and hold people's attention. How do we use analytics to discover more opportunities for growth? Those types of things. So Video Labs is like the next level after that. So good for you, Tom. And I'm glad you're still meeting with those creators that you went through Video Labs with. It's me asks, hey there, does anyone have any advice when you have a great and proven product, but no one is buying and responding to advertising, even on sale? Ooh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. My first thing would be, I guess I would, if I was working with you, I would be like, well, first let's dive into the product and let's make sure that this is a good product. Second of all, let's dive into who's the target audience for this. Is like, and then is this the right audience for this product? Or we usually start with the audience and then make the right product. But because you have the product first, now we're going to go the other direction and be like, okay, well, who's the right audience? Because there might be that you're just not hitting the right audience for it. But then the last thing I would check out is like, okay, well, what does your sales process look like? And what are you communicating to that potential customer? Is it basically like, hey, I've got this thing and you can buy it, click here? People are like, I don't care. But is it doing a good job at teasing, like, here's the benefit, the reward this can provide for you? And then I guess I would also look at, and this is a little bit harder because you don't know what you don't know in this situation, but when I wrote my own sales pages, like I learned a lot about writing sales copy and things, and got 30 days about a YouTube channel. The conversion rate on that sales page was about 1.5%. But then I paid someone over 5 figures to write one page on my website, the new sales page for that course, and his sales copy converts at 8%. So, and the price is a lot higher. Sometimes that was part of it too. Sometimes I wasn't charging enough, and people are like, no, this gotta be a scam. Like, I don't believe you can deliver on this promise for only $30. There must be like an upsell in the back end to like really get what I want. But when I started charging a couple $100 instead, people are like, okay, like I think he might be actually delivering on what he's promising. So sometimes it's the pricing, sometimes it's the actual like sales copy. So I would start there. We got a minute left. So let me look. So we got left here. Eridon asks, so should I try to set this up for Black Friday, or given that it will be ending about a week after Black Friday, should I not bother with Black Friday for that promotion? I think I missed the first part of that. Did I? Looks like I did. Okay.
Oh, there's another part to the question.
Yeah, this other question instead. Buildistics asks, is it worth to try a product launch right before Black Friday without a loyal following? I don't think I would personally. I mean, you could do the launch just for the exercise, but if you don't have people who want to buy from you, it's hard to make it work, I think. I don't know. What do you think, Delana?
Yeah, I think that there's obviously a difference between a loyal following and then a big following. Sometimes I feel that people can have kind of put those two in the same group. And if it's not, you can have a big following that's not loyal. And then you can have a small following that's very loyal. So yeah, if you feel that your followers genuinely aren't loyal, I think that's the problem that needs to be addressed first. Why are they not loyal? Why do they not feel connected to me? Am I communicating my story? Am I giving them opportunities to be connected with me? And then go from there. I agree with Tim. I'm not sure that unless you were going to go a different way and you were going to like run ads on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, you could also do that. But I still feel that you might probably run into the same issue after that.
Yeah. One thing I think is also important to mention, guys, is that after my Black Friday sale is done, I unlist my YouTube video about it, like the one that went out to my subscribers. And I don't leave that one public because then other people are like, hey, it used to be on sale. I'm missing out on the sale. Why is it not on sale? Can I still get it for the sale price? And we're like, nope. So we try to like erase all evidence that there was a sale after the sale's over. Because we do get a lot of people asking, like, can you, I know it's like 2 weeks later, but can you still give it to me? We're like, no, we have all that system set up. That whole setup then, it's not set up anymore now. Sorry. So just make that video unlisted after the fact. So yeah, wrap us up with our power tip of the week. What do you got for us to really help us grow our YouTube channels?
In combination with this episode, I think that this actually brings up a big conversation about, and this is going to sound like a pitch for 30 days, okay? I'm not meaning it to. This whole
We're not
video.
trying to. It's just hard not to at this point.
I know. We're telling you our
So dang
process.
good, guys.
We're like doing 2 birds with 1 stone here. But yeah, I think that this entire conversation really, really brings up the importance of primal branding elements, because we talked about your backstory a lot. And one of the biggest things in primal branding elements is your creation story. That's where so many of your other elements kind of branch out of there. If you're not familiar with primal branding elements, we do go over them in regards to how they relate to your YouTube channel in 30 days. But you can also just buy the book Primal Branding by Patrick Hanlon and study it there. But to have a successful product, a successful brand, I'm actually really glad that we landed on that last question, because a loyal following absolutely matters. They need to care about you, and they need to care about what you can do for them. And they need to be able to identify themselves with you, and your primal branding elements can help you do that. It's just it's a byproduct of what they offer. I always say that the primal branding elements are not something that you pull externally into your content, but that you pull, it's internal elements that you pull out into your content. Yeah. And so I would highly recommend for you guys to look into primal branding elements, do some Google research on it, buy a book, buy 30 days. It doesn't matter.
We do get into that in 30 days about YouTube channel. We spend like 2 days on it.
Yeah. But then my quote of the week is, an entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. Reid Hoffman. Which is from ClickUp. Somebody shared that from ClickUp.
Yeah, I get what they're saying there. Is like someone who's willing to take risks, but jump off a plane and build a bridge on the way down. That sounds a little irresponsible.
Yeah. I think though that quote is for the people who play it safe. You know what I'm play it too safe. And that constantly have reasons as to why they're not ready to start, why it could be better. They're going to spend 2 more years preparing for their business. And sometimes that's necessary, but sometimes you just got to jump and build the rest of the plane on the way down.
That sounds good. I'm just going to jump. I'm taking vacation for 3 weeks. So those of you guys who are in the live streams, our last live stream for the year, but those of you guys who are on the podcast, you will still be getting episodes just coming to you guys at Lennon, Delana, and I are going to record for you. And the rest of you guys who are on the live stream, make sure you go subscribe to the podcast, get the content there, because we will not be hanging out here live anymore for the rest of the year. So thank you guys for being a part of this awesome, amazing community. And we will see you guys on the podcast next week. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys then.